So to continue our lesson on natural rocks, let's review our objective one more time. I can compare different types of rocks. But first, we need to name 3 different types of rocks. So let's focus on that today. And we're going to focus if we can explain the difference between natural and human-made rocks. So go ahead and make sure you have your science notebook with you, a pen and a pencil. So first, let's talk about the 3 different rocks we're going to identify. There are 3 types of naturally occurring rocks. The word occurring here means that present exists 3 rocks that we know of. So what are the 3 rocks that are known that exist? Is the first one is igneous, the second one is sedimentary, and the third one is metamorphic. Go ahead and copy this down in your notebook. Remember, whenever you see the pen tool emoji on the screen, that is an indicate that it's for you to write down these notes. So the 3 types of rocks that we're going to talk about is igneous, sedimentary, and metamorphic. Next slide. Natural rocks. All these are known as natural rocks. And the first one we're going to talk about is igneous rock. Far under the ground, the temperature is hot enough to melt the rock into liquid. This is called molten rock. Igneous rocks are formed with molten rocks in 2 ways. So in this particular slideshow, whatever you see underlined, you're going to take that down. So go ahead and write the first top. You're going to write igneous rock, and right underneath, you're going to write far under the ground, the temperature is hot enough to melt the rock into a liquid. This is called molten rock. Igneous rocks are formed from this molten rock in 2 ways. The first way that it's formed is called intrusive igneous rock. When the molten rock remains underground, it's called magma. And when the magma cools and hardens, it becomes a type of intrusive igneous rock. Intrusive means internal, so internal means inside. So whenever we hear the word intrusive, think of like inside of yourself, inside the mountain, inside the area. That's what the word intrusive means. So molten rocks that remains inside the volcano gets cooled down and hardens, it becomes magma. And magma is a type of rock. The second type of igneous rock is extrusive. So if intrusive means inside and extrusive is the opposite of intrusive, what do you think it means? Any guesses? If you said outside, you're correct. So molten rocks that comes out of the ground is called lava. So out of the volcano, when lava cools and hardens, it becomes a type of an extrusive igneous rock. Extrusive means external, it means outside. So both lava and magma and molten rock are all types of igneous rock. So go ahead and make sure you write that down in your notebook. Both magma, lava, and molten rock are types of igneous rocks. I'll repeat that again. Molten rock, magma, and lava are 3 types of igneous rocks. Next slide. Natural rocks. We're going to talk about sedimentary rocks. Sedimentary rocks form under the sea, and we're going to show the following illustration. Number 1, as a result of the weathering and erosion, bits of rocks end up lakes in the rivers. So river transports these bits of rocks and deposits into the bottom of the sea. And this process is called sedimation. So take a look at the photograph. Because of the weather thing of windy bits, when you're walking the beach and it's been windy, or just a windy day out and about, you feel like all these dust particles in the rocks like hitting your face when it's extremely windy. Well, that wind takes these rocks and it ends up in the lakes and the river. And because of the water, it transports these bits and pieces of the rocks to the bottom of the sea. And when they get stuck to the bottom of the sea, we call this part sedimentation. So take a look at the photo, see the little specks of rocks traveling, heading to the bottom of the sea. And then the second part is with time, more layers piled up and they press down lower layers of the rocks. This process is called compaction.